Hey everyone, and welcome back to CJ Race Cars YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you Troy. He's working on the Aero Coupe. A lot of you guys asked about the Aero Coupe G-body. He's doing sheet metal in it. He's got the carbon tubs in it, some other stuff. Also, Corey got the forklift stuck and I caught that, so that was pretty funny. But also, I'm going to get an intro at some point, so you guys don't have to hear me say the same thing every single time. I just haven't had a chance to do it, and I'm not really sure how to do it. So I got to find someone to do it, and then we'll have an intro the next few videos probably. But again, thanks everyone that's watching. Make sure you subscribe if you're watching the videos. And make sure to comment, give us feedback. All the feedback helps. You guys made a post last night. You guys had a bunch of good stuff to say, a bunch of good feedback, some ideas on videos. That stuff really helps. That's how we get the ideas for the videos, what you guys want to see. There's a million different things that go on around the shop. Can't show you everything. So whatever we get the most amount of feedback on is what we'll show you. So again, let me take you out here and I'll show you what Troy's doing. And thanks again for watching.
Classic.
It's not even 8 o'clock yet, Corey. Jeez.
Off over there.
I don't know.
Video.
It probably carried it.
I didn't carry that.
They didn't do it with a forklift, obviously. Well, maybe that trailer wasn't there. Whoever the second owner of this vehicle is going to be in bad shape.
They're going to be in good shape. This thing is broken. You got to keep these things wound tight so they don't break.
If Corey's got this truck fired up, it's wide open. It's either wide open or off. There's no in between.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only speeds we run. I don't think
He got to look. Look, he got a throttle response module. How's that thing work? They got some different modes on it and stuff?
Yeah, it's a piece of shit. We'll tear it out of there. I'll work tomorrow.
Does he need a new bit?
Need something.
What size?
I don't know. 964, I think. You don't drill with the fuck.
All right, guys. We're over here with Jesse. We can't really show you what he's working on because it's top secret, really. So, but we were going to talk to Jesse. I wanted to get you guys' opinion because Jesse's, you know, he worked here. He's kind of a friend and stuff. So we started talking to this girl, and we were talking about it. They're getting pretty serious. I think talking about kids and all kinds of stuff already. So,
Oh man.
and I think I was asking him because I know it's a thing now, and he's considering possibly taking her last name.
There's no consideration.
So if you could leave a comment on that and tell me what you think about Jesse. It won't be Parrott. I told him if it's something like Johnson, then I could see him taking a name. So we'll see. But put a comment and let us know what you think about Jesse taking his girlfriend's last name here. And
that's pretty funny.
what do you think, Jesse?
There ain't really nothing to think about.
Ain't nothing to think about?
No.
Not taking her last name?
That would never happen.
Jesse's gonna drill his hole by the end of the day. For
Sometime.
Sure. Not really supposed to show what he's working on, but we'll get that. Troy,
Greetings.
what you got going on over here?
Tubbage.
Tubbage?
Build a tub.
Right.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared of the tubs?
Yeah.
Tubs are one of the harder parts of the sheet metal, I feel like.
I tried this at home and ended up in the hospital. So I come to work and do it.
I wanted to show you guys this. A lot of people have asked about the Aero Coupe. That's what Troy's been working on for the last week or two, probably 2 weeks. Doing the sheet metal, and Danny's been doing some tubing stuff inside. We'll show you all that. But Troy's got a pretty good deal he's got going to make the tubs a lot easier. I mean, there's still a lot of work and time consuming, but I wanted him to show you this little deal and how he does it.
I cheat.
Cheap. That's all right.
Basically what I'll do is I'll duplicate the tub in cardboard. But I'll only make it so wide, I won't go all the way out to the end. What that enables me to do is mount the tub where it needs to be, and then I take this little tool, in this case 3 inches, and I'll just put my Sharpie up in here, and I'll trace the tub onto the cardboard. Then what I'll do is I'll take that piece of cardboard off, separate it from the half moon, cut that line out, and then I add 3 inches to the inside and tape it to my tub, trace it, and that gives me a pretty good guess as to where I need to cut it.
Yeah. And if you've seen the tubs, we'll show you guys here in a second, little video of the tub. They fit really good.
They fit pretty good.
Yeah.
But I like to leave it, you know, like an 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch long. That way you can tickle it in, because a little bit of adjustment to get exactly where it needs to be. And the most critical part is when the chassis is built, that you have a nice flat area in this region of the car to be able to mount the tub.
That's a big thing with the chassis cars too. In the back section, the bottom tube is usually 1.5 inches, and the top tube's 1.25 inches. We offset notch the top tube so that it doesn't try to pull a tub in on the top when you fit the tub. So that's another thing that a lot of people don't know.
You want a nice flat area. Everything that goes along this area wants to be flat.
Yep.
Because that's the only way you're really mounting these tubs. Especially a car like this with carbon tubs. Older cars sometimes will just put a steel tub in and you can just weld it. And they tend to be a little more user friendly. The carbon tubs, you have to be pretty on point. There's not a lot of room for messing up. The same with aluminum for that matter.
Yeah. Yeah, plus you don't want to mess up a $1,000 set of tubs.
They are not cheap, yeah.
So that's another big thing. But yeah, that's a pretty good, this little tool right here is a pretty good, you know, like I said, he makes the half moon out of cardboard. He makes another strip of cardboard that he tapes to it. And he gets the cardboard where it fits close on the tight end. And then he uses this and marks the cardboard. Depending on how far it is, it'll be 3, 4, 5. You could even do more if you wanted to. But
absolutely.
Then this rubs on the quarter panel a little bit, and he marks the cardboard, cuts it, and then moves it over.
Yeah,
the
you basically just use this. If I use the outside of the car, for instance, and you just follow along.
Yeah.
The trick is to keep it square as you're
biggest
going.
thing, right? Yeah.
Then,
so yeah, that's definitely a.
Just makes it a little easier. One of them things I picked up over the years, just trying to do it. Back in the day, we used to measure every inch.
That's what I've done.
We'd put the half moon in where it's going, and you measure over every inch, which is, again, a decent way of doing it, but very time consuming.
Yeah.
Now, my way is a little time consuming, wherein I have to make a duplicate of the tub out of cardboard, tape it all together, get it where it needs to be and locate it. But once you get that line on there, you tear it apart, put it on here, you move it along pretty quick at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, with anything race car related, if you guys have watched enough of these videos or anybody else's videos.
There's a lot of tricks.
There's a lot of tricks, but to do anything and make it nice, it's time consuming. That's the biggest thing. It takes time. You can't be in a rush to do it right. It takes time. That's it.
Yeah,
to do a set of tubs probably takes about 2.5 days to really installed all the holes.
Realistically, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
you're
a few
looking
days.
at a couple of days for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, and the reason you see like a stock car or something, they do it so easy is because they'll pick the shortest part, cut it, mount it in the car, and then they'll just make what they call a crush panel.
Right, a little
which
strip.
takes the time.
Yeah,
to
that's super
follow
easy. Yeah.
But that's why you see a lot of these cars with the body off. They'll have the tub in it, and it'll just be straight.
Yeah.
That's because there's a panel that goes all the way out to the quarter panel that isn't there until the body's mounted.
Yeah. For aesthetics, though, that's not nearly as.
Drag racing, we put a lot more time in the drag racing cars. They tend to be a lot nicer in the end. They're not out there bashing fenders for 100 laps. Well,
hopefully.
And yeah, I mean, it really does. A lot of people don't take into consideration how much time it takes to do it right. I mean, you could slap it together, and there's times when things might get slapped together because of time constraints at the track.
Yeah.
But when we're here in the shop controlled area, you want to do your best to do it right.
For sure. So yeah, I mean the sheet metal, the firewall, the floors and everything, even in a normal race car, the whole deal is probably a 2-week process or more.
Sure.
You know, by the time you do the tubs and the firewall and all the bead rolling and everything else, it's a lot of work. So, but you want to show them the top, Troy, the aluminum stuff and the receivers?
Sure.
That's another big thing about the aluminum or any sheet metal. It's not something you can just throw a piece in and then figure out your next piece. You have to have a game plan, start to finish. You got to know where you're going, where you're starting and where you're ending. You can't just start
don't
and
take a swing at it.
No, that's the biggest thing is having a plan with it. So
It takes a minute or two to figure it out.
Yep.
Then once you have a plan, it's generally pretty straightforward.
Yeah. So yeah, let's show them the top. Let's show them the sheet metal. Some Tin Man Troy sheet metal bead roll.
All right, at this point, you can see that I have the start of the panels here. What it is, I'm going to be putting a steel receiver that goes all the way across. And then my tin will just set on here and just close off this whole area. And then same thing down here, but it's an aluminum receiver. And the tin will basically do the same thing, close off the area this way. And then we'll go from tub to tub on that. And that'll basically close off this whole back area. Basically what we refer to as a bulkhead or a firewall, because there is going to be a fuel cell back here, batteries, and I'm not sure if anything else, maybe a catch can or something to that effect. A lot of the modern cars, like your Pro Mods and some of the fancier, faster cars, you're going to see the fuel cell up front. So closing this off isn't necessarily as big of a deal. But in this car, old school style door car, it's going to be really neat. But it's going to be more traditional with your fuel cell in the back, batteries and all of that. And that needs to be separated from the driver's compartment. Yeah.
And you can see the sheet metal he did up here. One of the harder things for me anyways, that I think, is making it from the stock floor to having a receiver lip to even tie anything to. To me, that's one of the harder parts.
The transferring from the stock floor, because you got so many angles and everything.
Yeah.
Basically what we did on this one is we cut it off straight, and I built a steel, basically steel receiver that came up to the top of the tunnel and then angled down on both sides. And that features a kickback with a lip for the tin to mount to. And just when it's all said and done, you just throw a little bead of seam seal across that, and that'll close that off. But basically, it's just MIG or silicon bronzed into place.
Yep.
But that's the beginning of the whole thing, because you're really not going anywhere without it. It's got to be
right.
It's got to be right.
And then up here, he's got the receiver lip here, and this will be a piece. You decide you're gonna do 3 pieces in the middle, or
be 3 pieces. That way, I can put a brake on to keep it rigid, so it's not, you don't want it tin canning around.
Yeah.
We'll put some bead rolls on there to rigid up the panels.
Yeah, the only other option you would have with a panel this big would be to put some kind of support in the center, but instead of doing that, he's going to make, I don't know if you're going to do a support or not. I don't think so.
Well, no.
He's going to break the aluminum.
I'll put a brake on 2 of the panels, which will make that edge
solid,
rigid.
Yep.
And the other part with this is an Aero Coupe, so it's kind of a rare car, but that really doesn't matter. The biggest thing is one big panel. If you look at all the tubing in the car, you're not going to get one big panel in here.
Right.
So that's another part of the problem. Once that window's back in, you're not getting back here very well.
Yeah. Yeah, to do the sheet metal work, we had to have the window pulled out, which was pretty scary because my window guy told me you cannot get a window for this car. So
it is.
That was a little scary. The Aero Coupes are pretty hard to get windows for. You'd have to try to track one down. So
the glass unicorn.
Thankfully, he did a good job.
Yes.
Got the window out, and we got it in a safe spot to reinstall it at a later date. But
good Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny did awesome. Kenny does all our window stuff. So
yep.
I'll show you guys this aluminum up here. And then he's just going to tie it in, like he said, from here to here, and then from here to here, and then a few things in the back.
We're not really sure what we're going to do to close off this back area yet. We're working on it. There's a possibility it could just be left open. We might just make splash panels on the side to keep cleaning simple down the road. But we haven't gotten that far. We still got to mount the fuel cell. It was over here, but it interfered with the tub, so I had to move it. It's probably going to go somewhere in the center area. Batteries on the side, we're not sure about that yet. Basically, right now we're trying to get the tin done. Once the tin is the bulkhead, I should say, because there's still going to be possibly more tin after that, but we haven't decided exactly how or where it's going to go yet.
I'll do this inside real quick. How many pieces is this, Troy? Do you know?
In the front,
yeah,
is 6.
6 pieces. Looks really awesome. 1
in front of each tub, a transition piece, and then 2 in the middle.
That's how it tapers down to the side, so it's not straight across.
Yeah,
just gives it a little design, makes it look better.
The receiver I was talking about.
Yep.
Just makes for a nice clean.
Yeah, it looks really good. And then he has a receiver here. You see how it's stepped to receive the other piece of aluminum. So when the other piece of aluminum goes over top of this, it'll just kind of look flush. It won't stick out past it. Same thing here. The tub got a little step there,
so it's flush when it's mounted.
And you get the tubs up as high as you can, obviously, for tire clearance, and it looks better, and it helps seal everything off. It makes it easier to seal everything off the higher it is, honestly. So
yeah,
and they look good. I think that the higher they are, they look better. So
a general rule is more tub, less tin.
Right. Yep.
So anything you can do to fill that area with tub is going to require less tin at the end.
Yeah, I mean, the tire is never going to go this high.
Ever. No.
But it looks good, and like he said, you only need a little piece here, and you don't need as much as if the tub was 4 inches further down. It would take a lot more work to close it all off. So, yeah. But I think that's about it. Danny's got the seat mount done. Got all the, I think he's got some seatbelt tabs in there, funny car cage done, window net's done. This thing's just about finished up, other than a little bit of tin work and mounting the battery and some other stuff in the back. But
yeah, we're getting down near the end of the list. We're ready to ship this thing home. I'm sure the customer wants to go racing soon.
Yeah.
Of course, now it's getting to be hot out and no one wants to really be out in that, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think he's taking it from here to the dyno. They're going to get the motor right because it's got a twin turbo LS in it, so they're going to get all that stuff situated. And
she's going to be a bad butt ride when she's done.
Oh yeah, it'll be cool for sure. So, but yeah, that's it for this build. I know a lot of you guys were asking, and that's it. We'll keep you posted before it leaves. We're going to take all the tin out, powder coat it, put it back together. I'll take you over here in a second, show you the rear end. We got the rear ends totally together, center section. We narrowed it, braced it, the housing you already had, powder coated it. He's got some billet specialty wheels. Should be a pretty cool deal. So anyways, that's it for Troy's Tin with Troy edition 1.
Edition 1.
Edition
More
1
to come.
Yeah, Troy's only got 25 years left, and then we're gonna let him retire. It'll be 93 in 25 years ish. So,
but yeah, we'll be doing more updates on this car. There was a lot of interest on it. And don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, comment. The more comments we get, we know what you guys want to see, and so it definitely helps.